Alright, part 3. We are still aimlessly exploring Dropstone. After aimlessly exploring a train. It's been 4 hours already, but maybe at some point Layton will have some kind of goal or lead in this investigation. Now that my buds look all spiffy, I'm gonna take them over to Mr. Anderson to cheer him up. I heard his daughter's been keeping some big secrets from him. It's made the poor man heartsick. Well, can't go any further in this direction. Okay. Let's head back then. Oh, that's the direction from before. And I think I haven't been left yet. I think the person stopping me from continuing was gone though, so I think they were just, they were gating me on whether or not I'd found the tea set yet, probably. Harnessing the power of nature is quite an impressive feat.
Gracious, the weather couldn't be finer for celebrating Dropstone's fancy 50th. My memory's not what it used to be, but you're not from here, are ya? Waiting on the train, How do I know, you ask? Well, this ain't the first time it's happened. As fancy as that train is, it must be in rotten shape. Take heart, sonny. More often than not, the train gets fixed up in a few hours. Well, with the festival and all, there's plenty here to do, and see you in the meantime.
Thank you for your information. Are you going to be dying in the next 30 seconds? Are you alright? If I could trouble you with it for a moment, I'd like to ask about the relic known as the Elysian Box.
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me, I've never heard of the dreadful thing. Never, you hear? Well, that's enough chatting with strangers for one day. To be frank, I was in high spirits till you came along. Now I'm crappier than a crab apple. If you really want to prove you're sorry for ruining my day, solve this here puzzle while I make my escape, you dumb bitch.
I gave the hardest voice to a character that immediately sounds like they're going to be coming back later. Why did I do that to myself? A pro golfer has the amazing ability to consistently putt distances of 3, 5, 7, and 11 feet. Strangely enough, though, those are the only distances he can putt. Currently, our golfer stands on the green with his ball 20 feet from the hole. What's the fewest number of strokes he can use to get the ball into the hole? Assume that if the ball is hit farther than the distance remaining in the hole, it will roll over the other side without going into the cup. Alright, so what's the fewest number of numbers we can add up to make 20? 4, I think? Oh, 11, never mind. 3, 5, 7, 11 are the numbers. So we have an even bigger... I was about to say, like, well, 7 times 2 is 14, and 3 times 2 is 16. Alright, sorry, 3 times 2 is 6, so that added to 14 would be 20. And then 5 times 4 is 20, so it's nothing faster. But no, we have an 11. 11 plus 3 threes, which is 9, would be 20, but that's still 4 again. So we're trying to find a single combination that's 3. But 11 plus 7 is 18, and there's no 2, so 7's out. 11 plus 5 is 16, but there's no 4. Huh. Yeah, I think there might just be several combinations that all add up to 20, but no combination that you can do that only has 3 numbers. Because 11's too high. 11 plus 7, 11, yeah. I think I just verified that it's impossible, basically. Let's see, 7 plus 5 is 12, and then 8. Yeah, I don't have an 8. I think it's just 4. I think there's just several ways to do 4 and no way to do 3, but I could be wrong.
To test my theory.
No. Okay.
My, this one is quite...
Remember, this is a pro golfer we're talking about. He can do some pretty amazing things. That's an interesting hint. I think I get it though. I think what my mistake is that I'm thinking about it linearly. I mean, it's linear no matter what, I guess, but I'm thinking about it only in terms of, They say that if the balls hit farther than the distance remaining in the hole, it will roll over the other side without going into the cup. So I think they mean that I should include the possibility of going past the hole and putting backwards. In some version of that, that's 3. I'm not sure if that makes sense to me either, though. 11 plus 11 is 22. So that'd be 2 feet on the other side. And that still doesn't work. Because I don't have a 2. Whereas 11 plus 7 is 18. I think I can reasonably guess that the answer is 3, because 4 obviously works. But was wrong, so there must be a lower number, which should probably be 3, because obviously 2 doesn't work, right? Assume that if the ball is hit farther than the distance... Pro golfer has the amazing ability to consistently putt distances of 3, 5, 7, and 11. Strangely enough, though, those are the only distances that he can putt. Currently, our golfer stands on the green with his ball 20 feet from the hole, which is the fewest number of strokes he can use to get his ball into the hole. Is it 2? It might be 2. Because the greatest distance he can cover is 11, and they're saying he's a pro golfer, he could do amazing things. That feels to me like they're implying not that you can go over the other end and come back, because linearly these numbers don't add up cleanly. I think this is a trick question, because you can just putt not in a straight line. You could just make it so if he's so professional and is so good at doing exactly 11 feet, he could just make it so that the distance from him between him and the hole is 22 feet by just having it be 11 feet and 11 feet by like going off to the side slightly, and now it's 22, and then it adds up. So 2, maybe. I don't know. I could be missing something, but I feel like that might be the trick they're going for here.
Test my theory.
Yep. They're being smart. They're being clever little guys. They're
Wonderful.
They're doing the thing where the riddle kind of implies yeah, they drew the same diagram as me. They're doing the thing where they imply a limitation through omission, and then it's not a real omission. They never actually said you had to putt in a straight line. It just feels like what they're doing. And mainly the drawing biases you to do that because it does show a straight line distance.
That's the ticket. Very nice. You've got a good head on those shoulders, Sonny. But I guess you need one to pull off that hat. Listen, for your own sake, don't go around spouting off about the you-know-what box. Bringing that topic up in the wrong place could get you in a lot of ugly looks, and who wants that?
So that's suspicious. So, through the power of storytelling happenstance, we seem to have found our way ourselves into the town that would in fact know about this box.
Look at all these booths. Now this is what I call a festival. Oh, I just love all the hustle bustle. It's so wonderful. Shall we look around and take in more of the sights then? Definitely.
They decide to look around, okay? That's hardly an objective. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Parting with one so dear to your heart is even more painful than the tightest wig. When she was a child, I used to read to her until she fell asleep. She looked just like an angel. Oh, nothing hurts so much as Sob Separation's knife. Gee,
I don't know about that. I guess I've never really given it much thought. Oh, fret not. I wasn't expecting one such as young as yourself to fully understand a pain such as mine. Don't mind me. I'll just excuse myself now. The way he was carrying on, you'd think he just got dumped. But he seemed sad in a different way, didn't he? Best not to pry too deeply into the private affairs of others, Luke. It's not becoming of a gentleman. You're right, Professor. We're definitely not conveniently ignoring, like, the plot or whatever.
Hey, fellows. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Albert, and I am just nuts about our beautiful village. I heard you've been running around Dropstone asking questions, but you haven't talked to me yet. If you solve this puzzle, the king of Dropstone trivia, yours truly, will answer a question for you.
53. Boys Club. Below is a wheel of male and female portraits. Select a portrait and, counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise. Then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat this pattern, starting from the next available portrait and moving in the same direction. If you start at just the right portrait, you can move all of the women in the wheel, leaving only 6 portraits of men behind. Circle this portrait. Remember, you can move clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so we're gonna move 6 spaces. Counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either direction. Counting it as 1, so move 5 then, right? Not 6. Because you said you count the starting one as 1. That's weird. Then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat this pattern starting from the next available portrait and moving in the same direction. So next available portrait. So like you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then next available portrait. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. Right? Counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise. They say count it as 1. So that's 1 of the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then that would just be a mirror. I must be wrong about what they mean. I feel like they described it poorly. This feels like what they said, right? But that would just create an infinite loop of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boop. 1, 2. You would just get these 2 on ups. That's so you would never be able to do what they want here. It's like such a messy explanation. Select a portrait and counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise, then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. You have to keep moving in the same direction. Cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat this pattern starting with the next available portrait and moving in the same direction. If you start in this at just the right portrait, you can remove all the women in the wheel, leaving only 6 portraits of men behind. Circle this portrait. Remember, you can move clockwise or counterclockwise. But only at the beginning, right? You can choose clockwise or counterclockwise at the beginning, but then it says you have to move in the same direction, so you don't change. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loop. I'm gonna ignore the previous rule and change it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it does the opposite if I do it that way. So essentially I could do the opposite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this was the starting point, I'd be crossing that one out and going here to there or here to there. And those are both bad. Yeah, cross that one out. No. Maybe start here, counting it as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Repeat this pattern starting from the next available portrait, moving in the same direction. So you don't cross this one out yet. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not 1, 2. Wait. Start here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're starting here. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's bad. And then from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This seems to just create a pattern where it's just going backwards by 1 each time. This one would go here, then here, then here, then here. And this one would go here, then here, then here, then here. And that obviously doesn't work because they're all spread out. So I think I still don't understand how we're counting. Like the way, I think it's so poorly explained that I don't understand how we count these. Below is the wheel of male and female portraits. Select a portrait and counting that portrait as 1, move 6 portraits either clockwise or counterclockwise, then cross out the last of these 6 portraits. Counting it as 1. Why would they say it that way? Because move 6 portraits still kind of sounds like you should move 6 portraits away from where you're starting. Why do they say count as 1? That's so weird. Repeat this pattern starting from the next available portrait. Like, what does next available portrait mean? Do they mean go from here and then you start here and then count? Like, am I crazy or is this just like very strange? Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just loops. How do I count? Starting from the next available portrait. That implies to me that if you find your way back to a crossed out one, you can skip it and start from the next one. But that doesn't happen. They don't have. I never do encounter the broken port. That means that I feel like I'm counting them wrong. The only thing I can think of is that intuitively I'm supposed to start from one of the men. Because that just seems like how you would start this thing. Because specifically you don't cross out where you started. That just makes sense. And then these three are split up by this much, but these three are all bunched together. Like, that's visually odd. How are you making such a pattern that's like duh, 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 or something? See, so start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't make any sense to me. Am I supposed to not count the ones ever that are not available? Like, what does not available mean? It says next available portrait. Of not just next portrait, but available portrait implies that, like, they can be unavailable. Am I supposed to stop counting these once I cross them out? Because that's not said anywhere. I guess you're saying that I'm removing the women? The word remove is there. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bad X. Oh god. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this one's gone, so it's this one. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this one's gone, so here. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that worked. Well, I guess that's the answer. I finally found a pattern that at least matches what I'm supposed to be looking at here, so I guess that must be the answer. Okay. Circle the portrait.
This should do the trick.
Okay.
Ha! Wonderful.
That was a funny one because it's one of the ones where I was like the most baffled by, but I was pretty much guaranteed to always get a 100% score because you just couldn't really guess. Like there was no you could just tell if you were right already, so there was no opportunity to be right, to think I was right and be wrong about it. Weird. Yeah, for how much explanation they gave, I could be wrong, but I don't think they really detailed that well that you were removing the portraits from the rotation entirely. And they explained the movement as weirdly as possible. Like, why dedicate an entire sentence to really poorly explaining start here and then count your starting position as 1, then move 6, but you're not moving 6. Like, that's actually like grammatically fucked up to say you're moving 6, because you're not moving 6. You're counting 6. Counting that one as 1, which means you're moving 5, even by their own definition. Like, it's just, that's not what words mean as far as I can tell. I don't know, maybe people won't agree with me, but I'm like, that's not how you would phrase that. Not even like when you're not even being clever. They're not being, I don't think they're being smooth or clever. They're just being misleading. Like, because that's just not what the word means.
Expertly solved. Oh, gave me chills, it really did. Okay, ask away. If you got any questions about the village or its history, I'm your man.
Would you happen to know anything about a supposedly cursed antique called the Elysian Box?
It's hard to believe, but you've gone beyond my area of expertise. I've never heard of that thing. What I can tell you is that people in this town jump at the very mention of curses. From what I gather, it seems they have some connection to the village in the days of its founding. Unfortunately, that's all the information I can really give you on that subject. Sorry to let you down.
We did it. You don't have more riddles for me? You're the riddle master. That also wasn't a riddle, for that matter.
For some reason, all the old-timers here are really cagey about the origins of Dropstone. I've got a hunch that
Something strange must have happened here before the village was founded. These are all posters of cows. That's odd. Putting up all those decorations must have been a ton of work. The circular flower bed is truly lovely. Oop, is that a grave? Or at least a memorial. Look at this. I need to check. Drop. Stone. I've heard this before and I can't remember what it is. Dropstones indicate that a rock by some agency relocated to a still low energy environment. Once a stone is transported to a body of water and then released onto it, that drops through the water column and lands in fine grained sediment. Yeah, dropstone's a geological term. That's why I remember it. It's like when you have they're preserved in the sediment oftentimes because you'll have like a bunch of really clean horizontal layers, and you randomly have one big heavy stone that clearly has like dented the nearby area, and then the layers formed around it and just awkwardly sticks out of the whole thing. It affects the local geology because like it stands out because the kind of geology that gives you all those like really clean layers everywhere would all be like silt and sand. So a big old rock that stands out from everything else would be really weirdly out of place. But if it gets preserved into the sediment as it all hardens and becomes more permanent instead of just like riverbank, wet riverbank stuff that's actively in motion, you just get a really weird dropstone. I knew it sounded familiar. I was trying to remember if it was like an if it was a geologic term, or if it was like some kind of like building term, like kind of like cornerstones or whatever. Look at this little monument here, Professor. It appears to be commemorating something. Why don't we take a closer look?
30.
On the day Dropstone was founded 50 years ago, the villagers toasted with red wine and danced late into the night. They also built this statue, engraving it with the word red and the date 8/12. I assume they didn't build it that day, on the first day of the founding. Statues take a while to build. Part of the statue is shaped like a wine glass and can be filled with water from the spout at the top. While the statue describes the village's activities on the day of the founding, it can also show where they all found themselves the day after the festivities. Can you figure out where the villagers were? Answer in 3 letters. On the day Dropstone was founded 50 years ago, the villagers toasted with red wine and danced late into the night. They also built the statue, engraving with the word red and the date 8/12. Part of the statue is shaped like a wine glass and can be filled with water from the spout at the top. While the statue describes the villagers' activities on the day of the founding, it can also show where they all found themselves the day after the festivities. Can you figure out where the villagers were? Answer in 3 letters. What? Cup? I don't get this riddle, really. Red wine. Oh. The cup, the text is halfway in the cup, so when the cup is full, it should be reflective, right? So we have to mirror the top half of each word. So 8 would still be 8, 1 would still be 1, 2 would become 3, because only the curve would happen twice, and then red would become bed, because the top of the R would repeat on the bottom. Be bed, and 3. The rest is all symmetrical. Okay. Okay, that's the first time they failed me. That's a worse B. On principle, I can't keep that one, but the fact that they thought that was a B, not an R, when I fucked up.
You think that's an N? Okay.
This should do the trick.
Smile! Yay! He smiled because I'm right.
True gentleman leaves
I'm
no
right with my
puzzle
brain.
unsolved.
I was so lost for a bit there. Yep, there it is. They even drew it. That's cute. And 812 becomes 813 because the next day would be... Yeah, it's not even just the fact that it becomes a new number. It's the fact that the number is specifically the one after that. 2 becomes 3. That's very cute. It's like a little calendar trick. Not the most sensical memorial, but whatever.
According to the writing here, this village was founded by its first settler 50 years ago. It's strange how 50 years is a long time for a person, but not much time at all for a village. Quite so. But this fact just invites more questions. Why did this founder come here in the first place? It's hard to believe that he or she simply set forth from their old residence to found a new village.
It's hard to believe someone would leave to make a new... It's hard to believe that the way that all villages happened. I don't know if I get his meaning.
Let's see here.
A few options around here. And it's not this... Oh, but I can click on the door.
This building appears to be the town hall. Yes, but it looks like it's closed for the day. Well, they probably want to give everyone a chance to enjoy today's festivities. Luke, this reminds me of a puzzle set in front of a town hall like this one. Can't you give it a go? Would I ever?
It's time to get some pickets. I will never look up what this means. 3 people at odds with one another are running for mayor in the upcoming town election. Including these 3 candidates, the town has a voter population of 40 people. In order to win, a candidate must get more votes than any other candidate. If each of the 40 voters casts a single vote, and each vote is recognized, what is the fewest number of votes a candidate needs to secure victory with certainty? Including these 3 candidates, the town has a voter population of 40 people. So they are 3 of the 40 people. It's a simple plurality. Each have to have the most votes. If each of the 40 voters casts a single vote and every vote is recognized, what's the fewest number of votes a candidate needs in order to secure victory with certainty? Uh, 20, right? I look at the fewest number of votes a candidate needs to secure victory, and that's like with certainty. That's really important. So it's not the fewest possible number of votes you could possibly win with, which would be approximately like 1/3 of them, because everyone's voting for someone. But that would also open things up to like... Oh, so it does say every one of the 40 voters cast a single vote, which seems to imply that nobody didn't vote, which is unrealistic. But yeah, I don't think you can be like, it's not about like finding the lowest not possible number, because that would be meaning, that would mean dividing the number by 3 and then just having one of them be 1 higher than the other 2. But it says to secure victory with certainty. Let's see. I think it's just 20. If you secure 20 votes, and we assume that all 3 candidates at least got 1 vote, which isn't necessarily stated here, but I think we can assume that the 3 people voted for themselves. So that means that the worst candidate has to at least have 1 vote. So you need 20 votes to secure victory for sure. I don't know though. I'm always nervous about these kinds of questions because I don't fully trust that I can tell what they're saying exactly. No, that's right.
Maiden Tonight's apprentice strikes again.
There we go.
Yep, they did the same logic that one of them had to have one vote. So we were in the all three of the candidates were included as voters. They still do vote.
Well done. Now we really should get back into investigating the town. There are some more booths over to the right. Let's see what kind of stuff they have going on.
I clicked left. Why'd you lie to me? Oh, they're making me go right. That's what they mean. That's goofy.
Wow, look at those gigantic cow balloons. I love cow balloons.
Looks like the villagers are setting up for the livestock competition.
Livestock competition? That sounds like fun.
Yes, I'd certainly like to see the competition myself, but doesn't appear quite ready to start yet.
While we're waiting, can we see more of the village?
Certainly. We can return later when the competition commences.
Yay!
Still just wandering around. The fact that the objective keeps updating so often, but it's so directionless. It's technically direction, but it's just like, it still functions to just keep wandering around the village. They still don't really have a goal. Whatevs.
Aw, the competition still hasn't started.
Those cow balloons certainly are something else. It's very funny that they wouldn't let me look.
As a gentleman, I feel like it is my duty to take one of these balloons.
They required me to look here first just to get the objective to not look here, because there's nothing to do there. So I guess their questing was going to get broken and confusing if I just went everywhere else first and then never got the objective to go everywhere else in the first place. That's very funny. They're like, no, look at the thing and know that you can't go there yet. I'm like, okay, geez. It's like I have such a tendency to find all of the keys before I find the locks in a lot of the games. So it's very funny to have a game just be like, look at the fucking lock. Go over there. You have to go to the lock first. You're not allowed to go anywhere else.
That must be a farm. I wonder if the cows are out grazing now.
Nope, you can go in here. Hi. Before I do that, let's finish the screen.
Wow, a mansion in the woods. I sure wish I had one. Just a mansion. Just on hand, you know. As people do.
I never forget a face. I don't know any of yours. You must be from the Military Express. Since you're new to town, let me clue you in on a few key facets about Dropstone. I know you're interested, so don't act all bashful and reserved on my account. Listen, if you know one name in Dropstone, make sure it's Mr. Anderson's. Not only is the fellow swimming in the money, he pretty much runs Dropstone. But he's a swell guy who treats everyone with respect. Even the mailman. That'd be me, by the way. I always say you can take a heck of a lot of people by the way they treat... You can tell a heck of a lot about people by the way they treat their local mail carrier. But even nice guys like him have troubles. I hear he spends all his time fretting about his daughter. That reminds me. I just saw a pair of unusual characters head up towards Mr. Anderson's house. The two said they were police from London. Something about them seemed downright fishy.
2 people, huh?
Are you referring to Inspector Chalmy and his assistant? Chalmy, you say? That sounds right. He said he had official police business. Said he needed to see Mr. Anderson.
What possible connection could there be between Mr. Anderson and the Elysian box?
Well, it seems that Mr. Anderson serves as the head of his community. It's only natural that he'd know about who and what passes through this area. He's the big fish, all right. You're right on the money about that. Heck, even the owner of the Military Express stops in to pay him a visit when he's in town. Yes, I bet those 2 officers are
are being waited on like kings at Mr. Anderson's as we speak. But enough chit-chat. Have at you! No, we've got a festival going on now. So go have some fun. So he's just there to prime you for the fact that something's going on down there. Alright, let's go back over here then. It looks different in real life, I'm sure, when it's two separate screens and you're looking past it into the real world and everything, but when it's all projected on my computer monitor, it does feel slightly weird that whenever I do a transition, this screen fades to back black and this one doesn't, so I just kind of like, it just kind of continually redraws my attention back to this little screen. This is quite the variety of paints.
Whoa! Aw, these are so cute.
Scary cat. This cat sculpture certainly is expressive.
Yep, he's a cute one. Oh, if you like cats, Professor, I got a puzzle for you.
Is it just the same puzzle again, reversed and grayscaled? Yep, it's the same as before. So this is just reversed and grayscaled. So what doesn't look right? The forward-facing direction is light. That's just true for all of them, so I don't have to compare that part. 2 spikes there, 2 spikes there, 2 spikes there. Upside down one. Okay, how do any of these even differ from each other? Did squiggle? Did squiggle? All the whiskers are the same. These ears hit the edges, but these ones are inside. Open eye, slanted eye, tongue sticking out the same side. What is different about any of these? The bottom ones have the same eyes, same tongue. Dude, I have not spotted a single difference in any of them yet. Oh. Long whiskers here, or long eyelashes on the far right side. Then that one's long, so this one's not. That one doesn't have the right eyelash. Eyebrow? Whatever they are. And that's mirrored down here, where these are long. Dum 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 dum. These two differ in some way. Spots. What do you want from me? Big, small, but a little bit. Background's the same. What is it? Those eyebrows the same. Ears the same. Oh! They don't match the background in the same spot. This ear's to the left of the line, and this ear's to the right of the line. It's to the left of the line here, which means it's to the right of the line on the real one, because they're flipped. Okay,
And
jeez.
now to test my theory.
I was like, what am I missing here? There has to be something.
Ha! Wonderful.
Good eye. B is the picture you're looking for. The other two pictures are identical, save for the cat's eyebrows in A and the pattern of the lines in the background in C. I know I read that one when I solved it already.
You always make it look so easy.
Because it is. Cut out all the parts where I'm wrong. Ma'am, was your father a Sergal?
Greetings. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before. May I ask your name? Of course. I'm Professor Layton, Professor of Archaeology at the Gressenheller University. Charmed, sir. Welcome to Dropstone, Professor Layton. My name is Dorothea, and I am a maid in the service of the Anderson family. Tell me, what brings you to our humble village?
My companions and I are after an artifact known as the Elysian Box. Have you heard of it before?
Can't say that I have.
But the master is quite knowledgeable about curiosity such as that. The master, madam?
Oh yes, excuse my thoughtlessness. I keep forgetting you're new here. I'd venture there's not a single resident of our village who doesn't know Mr. Anderson.
I see. Well, if it's at all possible, we'd very much like to meet Mr. Anderson.
Normally I'd say he'd be glad to receive you, but lately he's been preoccupied with his daughter.
I don't mean to pry, but has there been some issue between Mr. Anderson and his daughter?
Well, yes. Just between you, me, and the wall, his daughter has been secretly planning a trip alone.
Secretly planning a trip alone? Is that your way of saying she's planning to run away?
Yes.
And what's worse is that the master is starting to catch on that something's going on. But after much talk, we servants have decided to cheerfully see the master's young daughter off. So you're in support of allowing this girl to go off on her own. Why is that?
Because the purpose of the trip is to fulfill the last request of the young lady's late grandmother.
I see. May I inquire as to what that last request was?
Well, I myself have only heard scraps of the story from other people, so I can't say much.
But whatever the request, it's one that the young mistress seems to feel is extremely important. Well, look at that. Here I am gossiping away when there's supper to prepare. Please excuse me, Professor Layton. I need to get back to work.
Oh, before you go...
Rats, she's gone. Maybe it's me, but it sounds like Mr. Anderson's daughter leaving home more than going on a trip. And yet for some reason the servants are cheering her on. How odd. Yes, very. And think about the consequences should Mr. Anderson find out what's been going on. The servants must have a truly solid reason if they're resolved to keep a secret like this. They're not being that secretive about it. What could it possibly be? I'm getting the feeling Dropstone isn't as ordinary as it looks. You're not the only one, Luke. But enough speculation. Let's go explore more of the village. Okay, Professor. It's not that good of a secret if I literally haven't even reached the estate yet, and I've already been hit with it. Extremely pronounced factoid. Alright, into that background.
Me. I'm a world traveler, but I'm stuck here until I can score a ticket on the Monetary Express. I was hoping for a freebie, so I told Beluga one of my puzzles to break the ice. Unfortunately for me, he got all hot under the collar when he couldn't solve it. Here, maybe you'll have better luck with it.
Hot under the collar? Oh. Dear me. No! That's why I got under the collar. It's fucking unblocked me. What rotten luck. While trying to pick up your luggage, you find that your bag is at the very back of the pile. The baggage porter unloading the luggage claims the boxes in the hold have prevented him from unloading your bag. Use your wits to solve all the boxes out of the way and reclaim your luggage. This doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even make sense. I can casually move them all myself from above at a bird's eye view. If I can do that, then I can just pick up my luggage and walk away if I'm looking over it. If the goal is that I have to get in through this hole and somehow find my luggage and get it out, then that should be the equivalent of, like, Unblock Me, the puzzle. Alright, sorry, it should be a Sokoban puzzle, not an Unblock Me puzzle, but it's an Unblock Me puzzle, so the theme doesn't even fit. What's my, oh, that's my luggage, I think? You can't move much around here. Let's see. What? This is all. This puzzle makes no sense. It's just. It's such a poorly themed Unblock Me that it doesn't make any sense. He's saying that he's having trouble removing the luggage because of these boxes. Okay, whatever. Take it out. I know that's my luggage, but this is luggage. Take it out. Why would you take it out? I don't understand. All right, fine. Now we can replace that with that. Anyway, that was pretty quick.
And now to test my theory. Ha! Wonderful.
Whoa. I feel like the real reason he was mad is you gave him an Unblock Me puzzle. You're a pretty clever bunch, aren't you? I don't remember his voice already. With folks like you around, you might actually solve the mystery of the Military Express. People say that the train occasionally makes a stop at a phantom town found on no map. Could just be a wild rumor, though. Who knows?
An unplotted town? Wow. I wonder if that's true.
Nah, I just made it up for fun. Enjoy thinking about that for hours. Bye! Yep. A ride in the Military Express costs more money than I could scrape together. See, I'm a rambling man. I was born a rambling man. If only I could afford to ramble by luxury train. Trying to make a living and doing the best I can. Do you think there's a chicken in that barn?
The mansion seemed big from far away, but it's massive up close. What a cute little farm. Yes, and the weather is so nice that even the animals grazing in the field seem to be in a good mood. This seems like the perfect time for a short puzzle. See if you can solve this one. One hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour.
You have 4 horses, all of which travel at different speeds. In traveling from point A to point B, these horses take 1, 2, 4, and 6 hours respectively. One day, you decide to move all your horses from point A to point B. However, you can only move a maximum of 2 horses at a time, and you need to ride a horse back to point A each time you return to move one of your horses. Knowing that you can only move as fast as the slowest horse you're traveling with, what's the fewest number of hours it will take to complete your move? My gut reaction is that you just take the 1 hour horse. Every time. Just take the 1 hour and 6 hours over, then ride the 1 hour back, then take 1 and 2 over, then take the 1 hour back, then take the 4 and 1 hour, and then you're done. Right? You can only move 2 at a time. You have to ride a horse back to point A each time. You could swap back and forth, but why would you? No matter what, you have to ride one of them back each time, so why not just ride the fastest one back every time? I don't see why you would do anything else. But it feels like it's supposed to be more complicated than that. Like, it's supposed to be like a crazy, like, oh, you take the wolf and the sheep across the boat to the lake. You can't leave the more than this many wolves next to the sheep where they'll eat them. And I hate that puzzle. I hate it so much. I'm so tired of it. Okay, so 6 plus 4 is 10, 4 plus 2 is 12. That's how long it takes to do the 3 trips to the right, because the 1 hour doesn't factor in for that. and then 3 trip, and then you have to do a return trip for the 4 and a return trip for the 6. So there's 2 return trips. So, right? So these 2 go together for 2 hours. Then go back for 1, so that's 3. Go forward for 4, which is 7. Back for 1, which is 8. Forward for 1, which is 14. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 12 is 2, plus 2 is 14. Both, check the math both in both ways, it's 14. Let's find out if I'm wrong. Sometimes I know I lose picker rats, but sometimes it's just nice to know whether or not I'm supposed to be thinking about this more or if I already have the answer.
Let's see if this works.
I don't have the answer.
Looks like I botched that one.
Looks like I've botched that one.
So the next thing that comes to mind is that I could group two of this. Because the rough thing about what I'm doing here is that I'm going forward for 4 hours and forward for 6 hours, which is really slow. So if you could bring 4 and 6 together somehow, that would be faster, right? I don't intuitively you want to take the biggest numbers and bundle them so you don't have to count them both. But the way the rule set works is you have to ride one of the horses back every time, so that's not good. If I have to ride 4 and 6 over, then I have to ride 4 back to get back. And then I still have to take 4 over again. That's way worse than taking it once. That makes 4 count 3 times. Minimum. So I don't think it's that. I'm trying to think of smarter things than just taking each of them with the 1 every time, but I don't see how any of them are faster, because you always have to ride a horse back, right? You have 4 horses, all of which travel at different speeds, and traveling from point A to point B, the horses take 1, 2, 4, and 6 hours respectively. One day you decide to move all your horses from point A to point B. However, you can only move a maximum of 2 horses at a time, and you need to ride a horse back to point A each time you return to move your other horses. Know you can only move as fast as the slowest horse you're traveling with. What's the fewest number of hours it will take to complete your move? The fat horse is cute, and then the poor skeletal horse is just having a real bad time. Only have a maximum of 2 horses at a time. You need to ride a horse back to point A each time you move. And so what's the fewest number of hours it will take to complete your move? So it is hours, it's not trips. Let's make sure I didn't do it wrong. So 1 and 6, which is 6. This is a running total, I guess. Okay. And then 1 to the left, which is 1. So the total is 7. And 1 and 4 to the right is 4. So it's 11. And 1 to the left is 1. So it's 12. Then 1 and 2 to the right is 2, which is 14. So there has to be a better way. I need to be able to bundle them, because we know that 14's wrong. What I want to do is I want to bundle these two, because they're too expensive. And I thought about, like, returning with 4 would take too long, right? But... I could do 1 and 2, the 2 fastest horses. Then return with 1. Then I could take 4 and 6 over. And then return on 2. So I was thinking about bundling them, but I was doing that as the first one, and that would only leave me those 2 options on what to return as. But if 2 is already there, then I can return on 2, which means that 4 and 6 get there in the same trip. Which means I don't have to do a separate 4 and 6 trip, which would be very good. Okay, so 1 and 2 is 2. Then 1 to the left is 1, so it's 3. Then 6 and 4 to the right is 6. 6 to 9. And then 2 to the left, 2, which is 11. So currently 6 and 4 are on the right, and 1 and 2 are on the left. So then it's just 1 and 2 again, which is 2. So it's 13. All of that to shave 1 hour off. It's still not great. But I guess we technically optimized things, didn't we? Okay.
Just leave it to me. Layton's apprentice strikes again.
Whoa! And then that's just them detailing the thing I already said. But with the benefit of having a fucking art department instead of my shitty drawings.
The animals out on the farm sure look like they're enjoying the sun.
Of course, Luke. Animals enjoy being surrounded by nature as much as you and I do. You got a tiny part. Okie dokie. Whoa. A lot of things are glowing at me. Here? Looks like it just fits that part of the background, yeah. The camera definitely is like just the kind of thing that's like, it's kind of satisfying to look at, but there's not a lot going on with the solution with it. The main event of Dropstone Festival appears to be a livestock competition featuring the finest cattle from around the village. It sounds like it'll be quite fun, but both Luke and Flora seem very keen on attending. So I imagine we'll be returning to the site on the event when it gets underway. I learned something interesting from Dorothea, a maid working for Mr. Anderson, a man who seems to be an extremely prominent figure in Dropstone. It seems that Mr. Anderson's daughter, Katya, is planning to make a trip by herself unbeknownst to her father. All the servants in Mr. Anderson's employ appear to be supporting Katya on her plan. But why all the secrecy? Help? I tried to click here, but that's the screen that doesn't have a touchpad. I'm exhausted. Can you make me a tea with some oasis leaf and a double dose of briskberry? Is that the one? Sure, it's the spot. Anyway. Okay. This entire system's pretty whatever to me. I don't find it very interesting. Especially since, like, the requests... at least so far, the requests aren't even, like, something you need to solve or figure out. They just... You just follow instructions. And it's a thing I've brewed before. I'm wondering if maybe the requests will later on reveal recipes, essentially? Maybe. Maybe they'll request things I haven't made yet, and then that will be one of the recipes. But even then, you're just following instructions to be given all of the possible tea combinations. That's not deeply interesting either. The whole thing's kind of whatever. There's not much going on with the mini games in these games anyway. If I had to venture a guess, I'd say this farm also belongs to Mr. Anderson.
Wowee! Look at the size of that mansion. I bet you could get lost in there. It is impressive, to say the least. I'm sure that massive manor belongs to Mr. Anderson. So that's where the Inspector Chelmy and his assistant went, right? I'd like to see this place myself. Can we go take a look? No. For now, I think our best course of action is to gather what information we can in the village. Besides, I imagine the Andersons have their hands full with the 2 guests they currently have.
Hey. How you doing? Ugh. Phew. That should do it.
Good afternoon. What are you doing in there, sir?
Me? Oh, I'm just doing a little fishing in this here lake.
Sounds like a lot of work. Have you had much luck?
Actually, that's a good question. Now that I think about it, how many have I managed to catch today?
The riddle is counting? You cast a large net out into the pond to catch some fish. Blech, catch some fist? Okay, let's try again. You've cast a large net out in the pond to catch some fish. Every part of the net is in the water except for the 2 ends, which you're holding in your hands. As shown below, the pond's surface is small, but it's actually wider underwater, so parts of your sunken net aren't visible from the surface. Assuming that there are no tears in the net, and that its rim is constructed of a single length of rope that ends on the shore, how many of the fish visible on the pond will you snare when you pull up the net back up? Okay. So here's the net. They're going by these whoops. That's not in the net, that's not in the net. I think this is in the net, supposedly. So, out, in, 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 out, in. You can just keep alternating because of the way the lines work, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kind of counting a few different ways, trying to make sure I didn't, like, miss something.
Here goes.
Okay, yep. Yerp.
Maiden's apprentice strikes again.
That's right, the thing you thought. It's true. Whoa-ho! What a haul! Tonight I feast like a king.
Bye.
It's a cute little piece of waterside construction. The view from that mansion must be out of this world.
Every chapter is just us obsessing over rich people and thinking they're so cool and impressive. We just keep thinking about that constantly. His entire inner monologue is about how cool these expensive things are. Oh my gosh. Non-stop hint tokens, look at me go.
The fish here are so tasty because the water is as pure as can be. If I can't keep catching fish at this rate, I'm set for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Whoa.
Oh, hello. Who dat?
Professor? I think this fellow fell asleep standing up. Judging by his uniform, he must be a security guard. I wonder how his employer feels about his nap.
Perimeter secure. Please confirm identity by solving this puzzle.
Picarets. We have 888. That's a lot. Oh goodness. 3 rope loops are tangled together with a single red rope. If you were to pull both ends of the red rope, a single knot would form in the middle. Can you figure out how many of the rope loops would get caught in the knot when it forms? Remember, even if a loop appears to have been pulled into the knot, you shouldn't count it in your answer if you can pull the loop free of the red rope with a tug. So basically just ones that cross. It's going to come down to how many times they cross the red rope, basically. That determines whether or not they be inside or outside. So if they cross the red ropes, if you stretch the red rope out and they cross the rope once, then they would cross over it. Which means they'd be stuck in the knot. But if they cross it twice, then it would just be a loop that's stuck inside the knot, which means you could pull it out. Because both sides that you can pull on are on the outside. Okay, so... Oh, it's hard to look at. Oh, this is hard to look at. So the green one crosses the red rope here. And the rest of it's kind of free floating, basically. I don't know if I have the most reasonable way of explaining my thought process here, but it's just like it's looped around the red one. So it's stuck. I don't know how to guarantee whether or not it would get stuck in the knot or not. Because it does pass pretty high up here. Like, what if it just floats up here? I don't know if I entirely get my own reasoning here. Because I feel like it has to be more trapped than that. Because if it doesn't get caught inside the actual knot itself, then it would just be free floating over here. So that means that you could just pull it up over the top here. Because it's just kind of looped around this neck. Specifically, it's not tangled with any of the other ropes either. So I might not count this one. This red one, this yellow one. The yellow one appears to be completely outside of the entire thing. It's just resting on top of the knot over here, and then it's under it here. But it's not inside this loop. Like, I think it has to be more stuck inside this area here of the red. But it only crosses behind over here, but that's just like the other ones, it could just fall over here. And on this end, it's just resting on top. The question might be whether or not the blue would catch it. Okay, but blue does not cross green. The green is entirely sticking into here. like a solid object, like it could just come slip out. And I think green and yellow, I think blue and yellow are also not tangled with each other. Yeah, blue is wrapped around yellow, but doesn't actually penetrate it, so they're not going to be stuck in each other. So I don't think any of the individual ropes we're checking are stuck. We are at risk of being stuck on each other. So we can check them all independently. But blue also looks like it doesn't stick. None of them look like they'd be caught necessarily. Even if a loop appears to be pulled into the knot, you shouldn't count your answer if you can pull the loop free of the red rope with a tug. Like this is just sticking straight in, like a solid object right here. So so when this thing pulls tight, you can just pull it out. I don't know if I follow the logic here. I think it's 0. Let's find out, I guess.
Consider this puzzle solved.
It's okay, it's 0. Nervous.
Ah, wonderful.
I don't trust myself. Yeah, they're just kind of laying there. Correct answer confirmed. Well done, sir. Must be some kind of mad puzzle genius to be able to talk about them in his sleep. Yum yum.
Oh, it's Inspector Chelmy.
Well, look who it is.
Hello, Inspector. Are you returning from the Anderson estate?
I don't know where you get your information, Layton, but you're as sly as a fox. As a matter of fact, I was just there, but the servant said Mr. Anderson himself wasn't home. They say the bloke is off presiding over some livestock competition. A likely story, I'm sure.
I'm curious, what connection do you see between Mr. Anderson and the case you're investigating?
Not that it's any of your business, but perhaps you can be of help. I'd heard rumors that the bloke had tried to find this Elysian box in the past, so I went to talk to him. But when I got to the house, his butler told me he wasn't home and that I should leave. Can you believe it? I'd bet you a tenner he was just pretending to be out. I went out of my way to see the man. At least he could do is offer me a proper cup of coffee.
But why would Mr. Anderson be interested in the Elysian box in the first place?
It's anyone's guess, Luke. We won't know more until we can ask him in person.
I guess we'd better head over to that livestock competition that Mr. Anderson's judging.
Fine. Let the blasted bloke judge his precious livestock competition then. I won't be there. As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing is a frivolous distraction for the rich. Speaking of which, I can only assume his obsession with the box stems from the excess of time and money on his hands. If you see anything that might help this investigation, report it to me straight away, you hear?
We are always happy to cooperate, Inspector. Now please, excuse us.
Sure. Off you go. Come along, Barton. We've got work to do.
Okie dokie, sir.
All right. We better hurry back to the competition grounds.
This time, his little assistant is the bad guy in disguise. Surprise! This guy's stopping me from going that way. I guess we gotta head back then. Hi?
Boy, oh boy, I'm in a tight spot. I wanted to make a clean cut in this board, but I botched it kinda bad. It's pretty useless as it is.
Can you think of a way to turn the pieces into a solid square? Balsa, like balsa wood. Board splitter 1. Ah, there's gonna be more of this one. Here we have an oddly shaped board. Since this board is rather unwieldy, as is, you'd decide to cut it into 2 pieces and rejoin these pieces to form a square. Assuming you aren't allowed to flip either of the pieces over once the board is cut, where should you make the cut in order to achieve the above? You can't flip them over. Can you rotate them? I assume you can rotate them. Oof. Okay, so let's start by counting the pieces. So 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 8 by 8. No. 4 by 4. It's 16 squares total. Oh, I see it. Take this L shape and put it right here. 16.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Ta-da!
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
I was smart and correct.
Hoo-hoo! That did the trick. Thanks. Now I can finally get back to building that shed. And I get back to building my camera. That you all conspicuously have pieces of for some reason. Not totally sure what I'm looking at here. Oh, it's bigger than I thought it was. Okay. Probably there then. Yeah, it just fits nicely into that spot, I guess. I don't know what the inside of a camera should look like. I've got no idea. Puzzle solved and found. 4242. None of them have been left behind. Uh-oh. Oh, hi there. I've got another board problem on my hands. Here's the shape I'm going for this time. Board splitter 2. Oh my god, okay. Well, we have yet another inconveniently shaped board. This one's even more unwieldy than the last. So you need to cut it into 2 pieces that you can reassemble to form a rectangle. Assuming you aren't allowed to flip either of the pieces over once the board is cut, where should you cut to achieve the above? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here, because this has to go right here, is where that's gonna fit. Pretty sure it's gonna be there because it has to be symmetrical. It's the cool S, but also it has to go one deeper on this side because this part's going here, but this has to go here, so it's one taller on the right.
This should do the trick.
Smile like you mean it.
And there we have it.
That was pretty fun. Don't put words in my mouth. You're really something else. Something amazing. I thought I'd have to scrap this board, but now I can use it to build my shed. So many camera pieces. Sheds are great because you can just throw all your stuff in there and willy-nilly and forget about it. Thanks so much for your help.
If you don't like that voice, it's dead now. Okay, bleh. Probably spinning this one somehow. Oh, maybe. Yeah, those do match up with those two things. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay.
She's gone.
For some reason, all the old timers do the Dropstone.
My goodness, look at this place. Phew, we made it back in time to catch the competition. If we've been informed correctly, Mr. Anderson is judging the entries. So he should be somewhere around here, right? Indeed. I wonder which of the gentlemen walking around here is our man. Uh-oh, it looks like the two men over there are getting pretty hot under the collar about something.
They don't mean what I mean when I say hot under the collar, is what I'm getting at. Like, it's not what I don't mean getting in a fight.
In a fight? I wonder what the matter is.
Just look at that mangy coat. Anyone with two eyes can see that's no bovine of mine. I know what's going on. What's gone down here? Someone swapped out my cow for this lemon. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Can you at least point out which cow's yours? Now, how do you expect me to do that? You think I recognize my own livestock that I raised? Oh, brother, this is gonna get ugly.
What seems to be the problem, sirs? I couldn't hear all the yelling. Or was the yelling the clue?
This fellow seems convinced someone swapped out his prize cow for another. I'm telling you, that ain't no cow of mine. My girl was perfect from horns to tail. Your girl? Horns? If that doesn't sound right. See what I mean? There's just no reasoning with him. Can't start the contest with him carrying on. I don't know how we can clear up the situation. I'm going to do something insane. I'm going to Google image search cow real quick. I'm not crazy, right? I mean, some of the results I'm seeing do have horns. I don't know if they might be bulls. When I type female cow, most of the horns disappear. I'm just trying to remember if female cattle can have horns? Some of these do. Yeah, that's an udder. I don't think any, yeah. I do see some that have both an udder and horns. Okay.
I'll take care of this. I bet the cows would know if any monkey business went on.
You're gonna ask the cows?
Of course. Why didn't I think of that myself? I'll leave this one to you, Luke. Excuse me, miss. Could you help us out here?
There's cow sprites. Is one of them a fake cow? Is that one a fake cow? Its head is a different color at its fursuit bandana. Like it's a costume head. Hang on a minute.
I see.
Oh.
Did you find out anything of use? I sure did. If I had to sum up our conversation, it'd go something like this.
What? Misinformation. 5 cows are grazing at the festival. 2 of them are true moo cows, a breed that only tells the truth. Oh. I see. The other 3 are no hay cows, a different variety that always lies. Using the following statement from each cow, mark all the no hay cows, tap a letter to mark the cow below. Okay, so God, 2 of them are telling the truth and 3 of them are lying. Okay. This one's just cute. It looks like someone's persona. This one's stupid. Anyway, A says that D is an OA, I promise. B says, oh no, C isn't a true moo cow. Which is the same thing as saying that they're no way. Okay, so A says D is a liar, B says C is a liar. C says that A tells the truth. D says that E is a liar. And E says B is a liar. He's definitely not a true moo. So E is saying that B lies. So D is a no way. X. C isn't a true moo. So C is a liar. A isn't a no way, so A tells the truth. I don't know how, I'm just trying to say it, make a different symbol here. D. D says E is a no way. And E says that B is also a liar. I'll circle it to make it stand out more. So A, D is a no way, so D is liar. B, C isn't a true moo, so C is a liar. C, A isn't a liar, so A is telling the truth. D, E is a no way. And then E says B is not a true moo, so also lying. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not reading any of them wrong, because they're using negatives and so on, while also being liars and blah, blah, blah. So 4 of them accuse a different one of being a liar, and C accuses A of not being a liar. And 3 of these people are lying, and 2 of them are telling the truth. So you just need to find out which combination's possible, I guess. Let's see. I don't know if there's even really a methodology to this besides just brute forcing. Like, you just have to keep checking every combination in your mind, basically. Let's see. A, B, C, D, E. So each of them is accusing a different one, and all 5 of them are represented in the as the perpetrator and receiving end of different accusations. So nobody's left out, and also nobody's doubled up on. My gut reaction is to assume that C is lying. Because it just stands as being the only person that says that somebody isn't a liar. That seems like the twist. But that would mean that A is a liar. So if C was a liar and A was a liar, B said C was a liar, so that means B would also be... That would make B telling the truth. And that would make D be telling the truth. Because that's what the one that A accuses, and I'm saying that A is a liar. Which means that D is telling the truth and that E is a liar, and E is telling the truth, which is that B is a liar. So that doesn't work, right? Because I was saying that I was calling C a liar. So if C is a liar, then B is truthful, but E is saying that B is lying. But, this is hard to... This is like too complicated to handle with this note system because there's no eraser. You can only clear the whole board. So I can't write out what I'm thinking to keep track of it. The trap here is that I can't, if I click this, it goes away, but I want to keep my starting information here and then be able to work, like sit here and work out other options as I go without starting that part over. I'm trying to hold all 5 things in my head at once. I don't think that was true, though. I think that didn't work out. I'm not necessarily done, though. Because the person... That could have been the liar, right? The other person that broke the system. Okay, so I was saying that C is a liar. That just feels intuitive to accuse that person of being a liar. So let's include C. And if C is telling the truth... If C is lying about A telling the truth, that means that A is a liar. But then B is calling C a liar. Puts B as a truth teller. Then E accuses B of being a liar, which is where this all breaks. Because that means that C has to be telling the truth. And that breaks everything. But if E is the liar, then we can disregard that. So can I make the rest of it work? A accuses D of being a liar, but D is... A accuses D of being the liar, but A is the liar based on my initial assumption, which means that D is telling the truth, which put D here. And then D accuses E of being a liar. So that matches up with the previous thing where I was like, if he's the liar, then I don't have to worry about this breaking my flow. So it's E, C, and A. Let's write this again. Okay, so A says D is lying, but I'm calling A a liar, so D is correct, and D's down here. It's a little hard to tell the difference between A and fuck, B and D here. It's like slightly offset from my mouse. It's weird. Alright, so A is calling D a liar, but I'm saying that A is a liar, so D should be in this camp. That's correct. B says C is a liar. That matches up. C says A is a liar, but I'm calling C a liar, so A is a liar. That's in that camp. D says E is a liar. Correct, because D is down here. E says B is a liar. But E is a liar, so B is the truth teller, so it's down here. Okay, so it's E, C, and A are liars. What was the question? Using the following statements from each cow, mark all the no-A's. So the E, C, A. I'm marking those ones. Hope it's right?
Here goes.
Wow! Correct!
Piece of cake.
We'd be at 1,000 if I'd never got anything wrong. But I have. I've gotten a lot wrong. But not that time.
It looks like these two ladies swapped places while waiting for the competition to start. Things should be all sorted out now.
Oh, you betcha. Look at that build, that lustrous coat, that soulful gaze. That's my cow, no doubt.
You couldn't tell them apart? They don't even look like each other. You're a terrible owner.
So, everything's okay by you?
Better and okay, kid. With my darling back, I'm a shoo-in for that blue ribbon. Thanks.
You just rigged the competition.
Wow, Luke, you sure have a way with animals. Aw, it's nothing, really. Look over here, you two. They're about to announce the winner.
And the winner of this year's Dropstone Dairy Crown is... that guy. Fuck you. Is that even one of the competitors from a minute ago? Oscar's show-stopping milk maven, Mootilda. Look, he's aghast over here. Oh no, the one that I liked is your cow. Hold on now, you mean to tell me my sweet Marimoo didn't take first place? Too bad you swapped your cow back, Clabber. If you'd kept quiet, you'd be the winner, huh? Isn't this ironic? I was robbed. The competition must have been rigged. Rigged, I tell you. You literally caused this.
I think he went through all that trouble to get his cow back, then ended up losing because of it. Yes, I suppose it goes to show that things in life don't always go as planned. Right you are, Professor.
Still his cow.
Say, shouldn't Mr. Anderson be around here now?
It's going to take some effort to find him in a crowd this dense. Let's look around a bit. Hello?
You ever heard of the old saying, the clothes make the man? Well, from the look of your duds, I'd say you've got your act together. Try this puzzle on for size.
Change of clothes. Hi. Men A, B, and C each started off with pants and shirts of a single color. A wore red, B wore blue, and C wore white. Then they were blindfolded and swapped items of clothing. After they took off their blindfolds, here's what they said. A. No one's shirts and pants match. B. It looks like C's the only one of us who didn't keep any of his original clothes. C. I don't know if I like these red pants. Change their clothing by tapping on them and assemble their current outfits using the clothes given. Okay. So no one's lying this time. C has red pants. Click, click. And he's wearing... Oh, you click the... Oh, you don't switch them with each other. You just toggle them through all the options. So if the tops and bottoms don't match and C has red pants, that means he has a blue top. Ta-da. Alright. No shirts and pants match. Looks like C's the only one of us that didn't keep any of his normal original clothes. So both of these have one of their original sets of clothes. But which? Well, you have red pants, so you have to have a red top. So then you have white pants. Then you have blue pants, white top. So top, bottom, white. Top, bottom, blue. Top, bottom, red. Red pants. One of his original clothes, one of his original clothes, none of his original clothes. Nothing matches. That should be it.
And now to test my theory.
Ta-da!
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
Look how happy they all are. Spectacular. Beautiful. Peak masculinity.
There's nothing tackier than when your shirt and pants don't match. That's fashion rule number 1. Rule number 2, no one can pull off sequins. But with that sweet suit of yours, you're golden. No swanky nightclub will turn you away, I guarantee it. Me, unfortunately, I look like a clown man. So that's what I'm working with. Yeah, I'm pretty much the slickest dresser in all of Dropstone. See this hat? No one else could pull off a look this edgy.
Uh-huh. Is this the end of this screen? Guess so. Everyone's probably rearranged now. I guess we never did manage to meet Mr. Anderson, did we? Yes, what a pity. I had a feeling he'd provide us with a lead on the Elysian box.
Well, hey there, fellows. Oh, we've never met before, have we? I heard you chatting about Mr. Anderson and thought to myself, hey, I can help. Here, I'll point him out.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a crowd. I just saw Mr. Anderson around here a minute ago. He shouldn't be too hard to spot. Oh, with that beard and hat. Yep, he's a real gentleman, and he always looks spiffy with his cane and his dapper little bow tie. Oh, and he doesn't wear glasses. In case you're wondering, look, there he is now. Using the clues in the above statements, can you find the circle? Find and circle Mr. Anderson in the crowd? Okay, so, memo. Alright, so, beard and hat. Not you. Is that a beard? I don't think so. That's a mustache. Beard. Can't see him clearly. It's the little guy that's always everywhere. I guess he's one of the people on the train. It's hard to tell what I'm looking at here. What is his face? What's his nose doing? What's this right here? Is he biting an apple? Anyway, I don't think he has a beard. I can't tell if that guy has a beard. He's facing the wrong way. Cane and bow tie. Cane and bow tie. He doesn't wear glasses. Beard and hat. Cane and bow tie. Doesn't wear glasses. Bow tie. Bow tie. I don't see glasses on these guys. Oh, he doesn't have a cane. He has a bouquet. These characters facing away from the screen are kind of rough to be sure of. How do I know he doesn't have a cane? I guess that's a bone, maybe? So if that's not a cane and that's not a cane, then he doesn't have a cane, I guess. Down to these three. Beard and hat. Cane and bow tie. Beard and hat. Cane and bow tie, no glasses. This guy looks like Orson Welles. He's holding a newspaper with both hands, so it's probably not him. And I guess I don't know, we just assume a bow tie would be visible if he had a bow tie, so I guess we'll just assume he doesn't have a bow tie. What's this guy? Whose hat? Oh, he's not wearing a hat. It blew off. It's over here. I didn't even see. That looked like, I thought that was a hat. I guess he's that bald. Okay, well then that's his hat. It just blew off. That's him, right?
And now to test my theory.
If I saw the hat blown off sooner, I would have assumed he was the answer because that's like a trick. They're trying to trick you into thinking it's not him. But I got you. Oh, he looks terrified. That thousand yard stare. Good day, sir. Might you be Mr. Anderson?
The one and only, my friend. And whom do I have the pleasure to speaking with?
The name is Herschel Layton. My friends and I have come to this fine town in search of the Elysian Box. I thought a man of influence such as yourself might be able to offer us some direction.
The Elysian Box, you say? Why would you want to go chasing after a thing like that?
So, you're familiar with it then?
Familiar? No. But I do believe my dear mother once searched after the very box you speak of.
Interesting. Please elaborate.
Ah, well, my birth mother died when I was very young. The mother I speak of is actually my mother-in-law, Sophia. She founded this village way back when. A kinder soul I never met. Sharp, too. I married into her family, but she treated me like her own flesh and blood. Seeing how I never knew my own mother, I suppose it would be fair to call Sophia my real mother. Even after my wife passed on, Sophia continued to treat me as one of her own. Mother Sophia looked high and low for that box, but she never did find what she was looking for. So, she made efforts of her own to search for it.
Fascinating. Tell me, where might Sophia be now? She left us last year. In her last days, she spent a lot of time holed up in her room, writing. Sadly, I never found out why she was so intent on getting her hands onto that box. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Well, my mother may have had knowledge of the subject, but she's gone now. Now you know as much as I do. I regret that I couldn't be more help to you, sir. Not at all, Mr. Anderson. I've learned a great deal from our conversation. You have my thanks. Oh, one thing before you go, Mr. Layton. Please, take a look around you. These picturesque hills, these happy people. Dropstone has been blessed with so much. Sophia turned this place from nothing into a village full of warmth and camaraderie. Dropstone mustn't ever be allowed to wither and fade like so many other villages. After all, too many sacrifices were made to make this place what it is. Ah, forgive my ramblings. Once I start talking, sometimes I have trouble stopping. Enjoy your time in Dropstone, and be well. Good day.
It's him, he's the villain. He's the bad guy.
Well, I guess that's another dead end laid. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Luke. It appears this village is inextricably linked with the Elysian box. I also find Mr. Anderson's choice of words interesting. What do you suppose he meant by sacrifices? Looks like our mystery only leads to more mysteries. Who is Mr. Anderson? The professor, Luke, and Flora decide to head back to the train station. Why? If this town is linked to the box, why would you ever leave at that point? Isn't this box? Isn't your answer going to be in this town? And that we're done with the train?
Mr. Anderson's a real upstanding fellow. He's made this village a place to be. I'm glad I'm calling home.
I'd already forgot your voice. It's too many characters.
Somebody help me. I'm in danger.
Nope.
Oh dear. The train's scheduled to depart any minute now and she's still not here. Everyone's efforts will be for naught if she misses her ride out. Oh my.
Oh, it's the runaway.
Maybe women just need more time to get ready for things like this. Oh, why must she make me worry?
Who are you waiting for?
It's none of your business. We haven't even told the master about what we're doing.
Luke, perhaps we should leave him to be. Sometimes it's best not to barge into the affairs of others. Well, if he doesn't want us to comment, then maybe he shouldn't be thinking out loud. And vanished again. Anyone else about? Not really. I guess I will head back then. And see what cometh next. This place is positively crawling with people, isn't it? Careful, Flora. If you don't watch where you're going, you're likely to run into someone. Oops. Sorry, this is all so new to me that I forgot to pay attention to where I was walking. Understandable. After all, it's quite a change of pace from London. Wow, Flora, you sure are excited. Don't just stand around gawking for too long, or we might accidentally leave you behind. Wow, what's that? Ooh, and look, there's another over here. Huh? Professor? Luke? Where did you two go? The thing they said would happen immediately happened, and she's been kidnapped immediately. Oh no! Professor, Flora's gone! Angry face. I put on my angry eyebrows for this one. Oh dear. We must have gotten separated in the crowd back there. Let's retrace our steps. It's going to be awfully hard to find her with all these people about. Now where could that girl have gone off to? You. Flora, where'd you run off to? Sorry, there were too many people that I must have lost you. I turned to look at something. Before I knew it, you two were gone. Well, I'm relieved you found your way back to us. With so many people around, who knows when we might have found you again. I'll be more careful from now on, I promise. Hey, you know, I caught wind of something very interesting when I was wandering around back there. Oh? What did you hear? That a man named Romy was asking around after the Elysian box. If we can track him down, maybe he can tell us something we don't know. I heard from one person that he's been wandering around near the station. That is interesting news. Let's head to the station and see if we can find Romy. Way to go, Flora. That's some top-notch intelligence you gathered out there. Aw, it was nothing. Okay, so she was replaced. She was kidnapped and replaced by someone. Just like how we had an impersonator last time, I guess. Huh. I bet someone needs tea by now. Nope. No, they do not. Okay, so somebody has kidnapped Flora and replaced her with somebody else, and that somebody else for some reason wants us to go to the train station and look for Romy. We have met Romy before. I believe we encountered that name earlier. I don't remember exactly who it was, exactly. Was it the Rambling Man? I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else. Well...